say, forget my past. If you wanna get with me, better make it fast. I won't be hasty, give you a try. And if you're really about me, then we'll say goodbye. I can do the rap if you want.
No, that's all right.
That costs extra though. Alright? It costs extra.
Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda, and today we have Lisa Crawley with us. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Congratulations on the new EP.
Thank you, Marty.
And we're going to hear some songs from that in just a bit. But first, you're going to tell me about your time in Australia, because you've been living there for a couple of years now.
Yes.
After being here for quite a while before. So how's it been making that transition?
It's been good. It's been a little tricky at times, but I think overall I'm quite used to sort of having to start over. I've lived in England as well, and also Japan, and they're so much further away from, you know, Auckland where my family are and everything. So it definitely could have been harder. I have come back a lot.
Right.
Before, when I moved over, I still had a lot of gigs booked here and different things. So I was coming back like once a month or something. So it was quite unsettling, sort of in a way. But now I'm sort of seeing Melbourne as I've got two homes really
there
now.
You go.
So.
And is it difficult to kind of make your way into a music scene,
Well,
a local scene like that?
I was quite lucky in terms of my original gigs. I did a lot of emailing before I moved over. So I had a whole heap of gigs booked for the first 3 months at some pretty great venues. People that kind of, I guess, took a chance on me. And I'd been over to Melbourne a few times before that. I actually lived there when I was 8, and I swore I'd never go there ever again because I had such a traumatic time being teased for my accent.
Oh,
I got the shingles, I was that stressed.
Really?
Yeah, I hated it. I was like, never going back there, but I kind of made my peace, you know, when I went on a holiday there when I was about 17.
And of course, the ironic thing is, if you were to go to the States, nobody could tell where you were from, because we can't tell the difference between an Australian, an English, a New Zealand accent. It all kind of turns into
people would
the
just
same
make
thing.
some Flight of the Conchords reference and probably
There you go.
like you even more. So yeah, I mean, when you're 8, I guess things were
That's traumatic
a bit
stuff.
different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I've really enjoyed. There's a great community of musicians that I've got to know, and I have a few regular things that tide me over financially and whatnot. So it's starting to get pretty established.
Cool. Now I should mention that we're recording this on the day after the Robbie Williams concert.
Yes, I went last night.
You went to see it. I saw it, and of course there's a whole kerfuffle about the reviews and blah blah blah, which we'll get into maybe in a minute. But you have a Robbie Williams story.
I do. So I was playing this piano gig. I pay my rent by playing piano for hours on end in foyers and whatnot and sing. And you can always tell when people sort of more, like you can tell when they're interested in music because they'll sort of listen a bit more. And I got talking to a guy, and on my break he was saying he was over with his friend who was a musician, and I asked what his name was, and he said, "Oh, you might have heard of him, Robbie Williams. And what are you doing after this?" Come to a private jam that his backing band was sort of having with, you know, about 50 people there. So yeah, I'm used to kind of just getting up and doing things for myself. So I went along, turned up, and the guy that I had met was sitting right opposite Robbie. So I was just sat as close as this for a couple of hours, and the backing band are so talented, and they were all doing things, taking turns doing a song, and so much energy, and so I got to tell Robbie Williams what the words to Mustang Sally were, so he could sing along. And his dad was so cool. I was playing a Burt Bacharach song on the piano, and his dad had just been listening to a Burt Bacharach or reading a book on something, and he was like, "Oh, it's so strange to see you down there, and what's your email? Let's keep in touch." And he emailed me that night saying, "Come to the Auckland show," and because I was going to be there. And so his dad and I are pen pals now.
And you know, Burt Bacharach's going to be here at the end of the week.
I know. I wish I could be there for that. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, well, the kerfuffle about Robbie, of course, is these reviews that have been.
Yeah, I've sort of a little bit behind there, but
well, we won't talk about it specifically, but I'm just curious what your opinion as an artist is about reviews in general, and how they affect you, and how they affect anybody else around you, and how they should be approached, perhaps.
Yeah, I wish I had one answer for that. I just kind of get a bit nervous and push open, and then kind of half look at it, and then if it's not scathing, then I sort of breathe a sigh of relief, and then of course, I don't know if a lot of artists probably are similar. You take the one thing that might be slightly critical and can't help but be a bit hurt, but that's just how it works. And a lot of the time I'm like, yeah, they're probably right about that little thing. And it's great when someone can spot your references, and yeah, that's a kind of cool part of it. I don't understand how some reviews are so, you know, that you have the ones that are sort of in the middle, and then you have the extreme, I hate this is shit, or whatever. It's like, whoa, I actually kind of
because actually as an artist, I suppose you can look at some things as constructive criticism and think, okay, maybe I should work on this aspect of whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah,
but
I've put out 2 EPs and 2 albums, and then this EP, so 3 EPs and 2 albums, and overall I've had maybe 2 quite negative ones, and of course you remember them more than the other ones, but it's just trying to get some context. And I think maybe as a solo artist it's also challenging because you're stuck in your own head with everything, and you're like, can't go to your bandmates, so what about this, and what do you reckon about this,
or you could blame them.
Or I could blame them,
if they existed.
So now I can just blame the session musicians and, no, I mean,
the sound guy, the venue, whatever.
Well, yeah. A couple of times I've had, like, and reviews from different kind of things, like the Women's Day are going to review something completely different to how something that is kind of got a, you know, that pitchfork would.
Right.
Yeah, so like Women's Day would think anything, there's an instrument that's a little bit different, or she's quirky, or whatever. It's like, well, is it better than not being in it at all? I don't, probably not. It's good to have some kind of platform.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get down to talking about the EP.
Cool.
The first song that we're going to hear is the title track of the EP, Up in the Air. What can you tell me about that?
Well, I think with this EP overall, I was sort of just trying to write, being in a new place, just write songs, I don't know, nothing. Often I wouldn't really feel compelled to write much at all, and so I just try and write from a character point of view more than something that's autobiographical. I mean, I did go to Los Angeles this year, and that's probably the main theme of the truth for me, what I relate to in that song. But it's kind of with a theme of desperation and being so obsessed with something or somebody, and that you do anything. And I think we're going to bring that out in the video. I love old movies and old shows and stuff, and you see that kind of, you know, you die for somebody or do something like that.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, my trip to LA was completely different to that. I went to perform a couple of gigs, a songwriting game show where you have 17 minutes to write a song.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I got really sick. I went to a music expo. I just got all my songwriting rights back, so I went to meet some music supervisors and do all these things, but I guess if I was to try and find some kind of like relation there, I mean, I went to these conferences by myself, and you just sort of I saw desperation. You'd see these singer-songwriters come up to all the speakers afterwards and have all their promo material, and you can see the speakers' eyes glaze over a little bit. But I got to meet Seymour Stein, and that was cool. And I met him in my own way. I gave him a Barocca. I didn't want to come up to him and be like, "Here's all my stuff." I just sort of sat there and heard he was dehydrated, and I had been really sick. And but I mean, I'm trying to put a link between desperation and musicians trying to network to being obsessed with someone romantically. So I'm not sure where I'm going there, but
well, let's listen and find out.
Production-wise, yeah, it's kind of a little bit darker than some of my stuff.
Right.
Played around with different things. I came up with this starting with a drum beat, which is quite different for me. I usually have a whole lot of words and then put chords to that. Started just on my laptop and with Logic Audio and playing around with different things because I was sort of sick of doing things the one way. Mm-hmm. And Ryan Ritchie helped with the arrangement of the strings, which is something that I normally love doing, and it was cool to see somebody else do it because he does it for a lot of different people.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, let's give it a listen, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Flew to the city of LA, sleeping pills in my system, but I'm wide awake for you. Skin's gonna see the sun. What a shock to my system. Pale, but it is burning to feel you. I'm up in the air. Your love is my weakness. Not much to say. Your love, it leaves me waitress, be your mistress. Oh, how I've missed this. I'm tired, but I am happy to serve you. And you have my body, have my heart, and I know it's just the start. You know that I would end it all for you. I'm up in the air. Your love is my weakness. Not much to say. Your love, it leaves me speechless. Your love is my weakness. Your love, your love, your love. So take me how you want me. Hold me till I'm old. Hold me through the night. And tell me that you want me. Honey, I'm so lonely. Hold me through the night. So take me how you want me. Hold me till it's over. Hold me through the night. And tell me that you want me. Honey, I'm so lonely. Hold me through the night. So take me how you want me. Hold me till I'm older. Hold me through the night. And tell me that you want me. Honey, I'm so lonely. Hold me through the night.
All right, we're back with Lisa Crawley, and we're going to hear another song in a minute, but I have some more questions for you first.
Okay, cool.
Now I'm curious, because correct me if I'm wrong, but what we just heard, the title track, which is when we hear it on the EP, has a slightly different vibe and feel to some of the stuff you've done in the past.
That's
Maybe
right.
It's a little more electronic.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, as an artist, especially as one who's kind of starting out, although you've been doing it for a while, is this something you think about constantly, that you have to kind of change the way you're making your music, or looking for something that's going to connect with you and the audience, or do you just do it because you're bored or interested or just experimental? Or
I do it
what?
because I'm interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be just like, I think for me, as long as I can play some version of it I'm happy with live, then that's okay. If I can't play it on the piano and sing it, and I need all the other stuff, then I probably wouldn't want to go ahead with it. Saying that, I don't think it's. I've always really liked string arrangements, and it's got some of that on there, but yeah, just sort of some of the bass is more electronic, and probably having more reverb on the snare and all that kind of thing, and is slightly different. And I never worked with this guy Ryan before, so I was totally open to trying something new, as long as, you know, my vocal was still me and tying it together. And also I realized I never really played around with my lower register and higher register, my recordings. It's been quite safe, so it was quite good to try and sing a bit lower. I guess as you get older, like, my voice has got a little bit lower. And
yeah, you can tell how old I am, right? My voice is way down.
well, you know, Leonard Cohen drops his
right.
keys down every time, and I think of everything in notes, so I can always tell if a pop artist is singing something a semitone lower than the original, and I'm like, is that because it's just more manageable, or? So I'm trying to think for this tour, if I drop some of my keys down that are sort of a bit higher, and anyway, I'll figure that out. But yeah, just I'm definitely open to trying new production stuff, as long as it's not like, as long as I'm happy with the song and the song still resonates with me, then yeah, I'm not gonna, I don't know, Ryan, the producer, is worked with a lot of hip hop artists and a lot of soul artists that are influenced by Amy Winehouse, and that's kind of his thing. So we kind of met in the middle. He said that I was the only female artist that had actually sat in for the mixing and is there for the instrumentation and stuff. So I think he's worked with a lot of maybe pop artists that are sort of very strong vocalists that don't play instruments. So yeah, it was good collaboration for both of us. And we've been doing work together and playing for Kate Sobrano and a few other artists. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now we got another song.
Yes.
Is there something wrong?
No.
Okay. No, that's the
No,
name
I'm
of the
okay.
song.
Yeah, that's the name of the song.
You're trying to mess with my head.
Yeah. There's been a bit of that today. So.
Yes, there is. And what can you tell me about that before we hear it?
Yeah, sure. Well, lyrically, I had quite a lot of these lyrics in verses that I never really put together as a song. Probably influenced by having a history of supplementing my original music by playing in hotels and things like that, everywhere from the Ritz to weird kind of David Lynchy Japanese hotels to a stint in Denmark, all doing that kind of thing. And
have you ever had the urge to break into Piano Man?
I have to do it. I wasn't allowed to do it for a while because I worked in a dueling piano bar.
Play it?
I mean, yeah, it's just, I have to.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And even worse, I could change it to Piano Woman or something, like
no.
that's just even worse. It's getting into a very dark place. Let's not go there. But, where were we? Oh yeah, I wasn't allowed to. I worked in a dueling piano bar in Parnell for about 3 years, and I was never actually allowed to play that because there was a guy that specialised in Billy Joel music.
Right.
So I never played it until I kind of got heckled to do it by some very drunk people.
It's going to be miserable.
Get it over with. Yeah.
All right, so back to your song, though.
To my song, yeah. So playing in those kind of environments is really interesting, and I'm not sure yet if it's been overall positive or negative thing, but it's been a necessary thing unless I wanted to be an office worker or a temp thing. And I've done that before, and it seems to be a good way to make some money. And I wouldn't have done that Robbie Williams thing if it wasn't for that. And there's some great things that come from that and meet some cool people. But you also see a lot of different things. You see things that make you think, the black and white version of this is getting grey. Like you see couples that don't say a word to each other, and they're like, you could judge them when you're playing and think they're really unhappy. But then I'm like, hang on, maybe they're so in love that they don't need to say anything to each other.
Right.
And I don't know, I just think a lot while I play these kind of gigs, and you see a lot of things, you see a lot of hierarchy. Parents put their kids by the piano, and it's always when I'm playing something that I'm enjoying, like a Radiohead song, and these little kids are looking at you, and you feel like you have to play something upbeat or whatever. But
you don't want to bum them out with something from Tom York.
Yeah, but I don't want to play Frozen either. I like challenges. I take requests a lot, and I have had mixed experiences from having a tip jar in England, something I don't have in Australia or anything like that, but it comes with connotations at times. People think that, hey, tipped you out, love, let's have a chat afterwards. And you're like, so you just it's really good people watching kind of job. And is there something wrong kind of came out of that? I see drinking, you seem pretty dry as one of the lyrics. It's just like, I don't know, alcohol can make people seem really fun and makes it seem really depressing at the same time. And yeah, that lyrically, that's sort of based on my experiences there, and the conversational type singing style is sort of based on that kind of thing as well. Yeah.
Cool.
I've got to be careful. I don't want to do very much of that. I've got to balance it with other work, because there's so many emails that come through going, oh, do you want to do a 6-month job in Vietnam? And you're like, well, if you said yes to all those kind of things, you just end up 60 and still doing those gigs and spending your income on Botox to try and look young enough to continue doing those gigs. So
that's what you call soul destroying.
I feel like I have a really good method of, I'm going to work now, let's do that, let's do that. And then people go, I don't play originals, I just do my own thing. And yeah, unless it's empty, and I'll just practice.
Cool. Alrighty, well, let's give a listen
something
to
wrong?
One of the originals.
And a very uplifting song coming up.
Is there something wrong?
Sit yourself down, come have a drink. Let's have a talk and try not to think. Let's have a talk, let's have a drink. Out of control, out of my mind. Keep getting told that I'm just too kind. But let's have a talk try not to think. Is there something wrong? Are you on your own? Is there something wrong? Are you all but gone? Are you all but gone? And your looks that kill me inside. I see you drinking, you seem pretty dry. I see you drinking, you seem pretty dry. And I know I can't swim, but I've had it for sure. I'm quite the loner, but I feel like a whore. But let's have a talk and try not to think. Is there something wrong? Are you on your own? Is there something wrong? Are you all but gone? Are you all but gone? And hear my simple prayer for those who've lost their minds, those who've lost their minds. And hear my simple prayer for those who've lost their minds, for those who've lost their minds. Is there something wrong? Are you on your own? Is there something wrong? Are you all but gone? Are you all but gone? All but gone. All but gone.
Okay, we're back with Lisa Crawley. One more little bit of chatting before we hear the last song.
Cool.
And the reason that you're here is because you are touring the country a bit.
That's right.
And so why don't you tell folks a little bit about what they can expect and
Sure,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Well, it's a New Zealand tour, so I've done South Island, and then so Christchurch, Dunedin, Queenstown, and then some more North Island ones the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm performing all of my new EP and a mixture of some older tunes
Is you
as well.
solo, like what we're seeing here, or are you playing with a band?
It's kind of mixed, but the Auckland show at the Tuning Fork will be with the full band, so I'm really looking forward to playing with those guys again because
That'll be fun.
they're great. Yeah, they're the band that played on my second album.
Are they the same? No, I think the last time I saw you was when you were playing with Greg Johnson.
Yeah, that was probably Greg's band that I
that was Greg's band.
was
Okay,
playing with.
yeah.
So I have a girl called Cass who plays in Tiny Ruins, who
Right.
we've
Oh,
been
yes,
playing
yeah,
together
yes,
for
yeah.
probably coming up to 10 years. So that'll be really nice to play with her again. I have an Australian band, but
Right.
there's no way I could have brought them over this time round. And then Sam Taylor, who is a very talented guitarist, and Stephen Thomas, who's a drummer, who's been doing a lot of gigs for various artists, and we went to high school together. So
Nice.
that'd be nice. I'm looking forward to it.
And do you find that you get a lot of return fans if you're out in the boonies of New Zealand, or is it kind of a lot of first timers, or building up a
it's a
following out
mix.
there?
I definitely try and keep in touch with people that have been really supportive, and yeah, I do see some similar faces, which is nice and encouraging, and hopefully they bring their friends that will come back again at the same time. But yeah, hopefully the new EP will draw different people.
Right.
And
Is
yeah.
there a physical version of the EP, or is it
Yeah,
digital only?
I need to check. It's probably be ready in a day.
Okay, very good.
So it's in the printers right now.
Yeah, I'm still
Hot off the
old-fashioned.
press.
I like to have one in my
I'll
hands.
drop one round to you.
Oh, that's all right. So the last song we're going to hear is Showgirl, right?
Showgirl, yeah.
All right, what can you tell me about that?
Well, Showgirl is sort of, I guess it's just a story, it's a character story about somebody that is working in the entertainment industry, either as a dancer or a performer or whatever. I guess in this case it sort of sounds like she's some kind of stripper, but it's not really about that particular. But yeah, I suppose it's just sort of saying this is my lifestyle and I'm actually okay with it and deal with it, people that are being judgmental. And the closest I can probably relate is having grown up in a church environment and combining that with playing in pubs since I was about 15 with my old band Velez that I was in. We've been playing, and it would be, I remember I was very sensitive towards, this is right or wrong and whatnot back then, and would play at Eden's Bar, and I'd be next to Las Vegas Showgirls, and I'd feel so terrified, people going up and watch them, and I'd be like, that's really wrong or whatever. But who am I to know? You know, I think now, who am I to know what's going on in people's brains, and is it a bad thing? Is it not? It's much more a grey area for me. And I remember having what we call back in the church days an accountability coffee. Unofficially, that was the unofficial name. Someone would take, an older leader would take you and be like, so how's it going? You know, what have you done? What's happening? Right. And I remember someone saying to me, don't you think you're just going to want to, you know, this lifestyle, don't know if it's very sustainable, and don't you think you'll want to just settle down and you know, when you get married you can't continue this kind of lifestyle. It's like, oh my gosh. And I'm sure there's these kind of ridiculous people no matter what religion or office place or whatever, but I was just like, what? No way. And I've always been very passionate about just playing my own music wherever I can. Right. But it was a bit of a contrast playing, I think this first covers band I ever played in the same time as doing the originals band, played at the Rosencrantz like 4, and then would have to be at church to play at the church band like 8 or something. And so it was like these very different lifestyles. Yeah. But I've always felt very sure that I'm okay just doing what I'm doing. And I suppose Showgirl sort of is a bit of like a, you know, I don't know if I can say fuck you, but like to those kind of people that, yeah, like I got asked to do an interview for a Christian radio station, and I'm like, well, okay, why not? So I want to have a chat, and someone underneath is like, is this Christian music? It's like, I really don't care now. I'm just like, whatever, whoever wants to hear it can hear it. And yeah, I suppose that's what Showgirl Touch is about.
Very good.
Just a showgirl with nothing to showgirl. Yeah, that's the hook.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the tour. Good luck with the EP. I assume there'll be a full album at some point in the works.
Yeah, hopefully next year. Yeah, I'm going to keep writing and keep working at it.
In the meantime, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Don't you fear, I'm okay. It's time to look the other way. God only knows what happens here. Shed your clothes, but not a tear. God only knows what happens here. Wrote my name up in the lights. It got me through the darker times. God only knows what happens here. Shed your skin, don't shed a tear. God only knows what happens here. And I'm not picking up the pieces scattered at my feet. And I've been working nights since I was barely 17. With a fake ID, they all play to believe this is me. Save. So pay a check, be on your way. And they all told me that I'd shine, that I was perfect in God's eyes. But God never looked at me twice. And I'm not picking up the pieces scattered at my feet. And I've been working nights since I was barely 17, with a fake ID. Just a showgirl with nothing to show, girl. 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 Just a showgirl with nothing to show. And I'm not picking up the pieces scattered at my feet. And I've been working nights since I was barely 17. With the fake ID, they all pay to believe this is me. They all pay to believe this is me. Thank you very much. Thanks.